Welcome to the integration phase. The embodiment phase. The old makes way for the new. The new merges with the ancient. We give thanks. We give thanks. We have the fire of the element of fire supporting us today. I really felt like connecting with this message today at night. I don't usually record at night, but I really felt called to connect with the primal as the sun dips back to meet with the mother, which with each sunset we are able to, if we want, to tap in and hear the earth breathe, hear her express the day's messages, the week's messages, the month's messages. And so for me, it's about connecting with what I felt is the significance of May and the energies that are going to be coming through, and continue to anchor as humanity elevates in consciousness collectively as we remember how to breathe on our own, but also to breathe as brethren together. The light is touching each and every one of us. The rising of consciousness is, whether we're aware of not or not, affecting each and every one of us, and we can't deny it. So yeah, that's part of why I wanted to bring the element of fire, is because what I feel is the integration phase, the embodiment phase, I feel is also supported by the grieving. So the embodiment and the integration is being fanned by the flames, by the fire. Like we know the ash will renew us. In nature, forests might have what we call a field fire, but it's not necessarily a fire that we need to panic about, as us humans like to be in control. But it's a fire that is seeking to bring you life, that is seeking to renew itself. And so, yeah, I bring the fire in to ask the fire to support us, to burn away what needs to be burned away, so that we can have the courage to birth what is new, what is needed. And yeah, that also the light can help us to illuminate what needs to be illuminated, to remind us that we don't have to fear anything. And yeah, with that, actually, I feel like a singing bowl, the fiery tone, the bass, with the tone of the earth, rather, let me say that, is needed. Okay. And as I sing the bowl, I want to tell you of a story I heard from an elder that has to do with the fire. We're sitting in front of a fire. This was sometime back in December. And this man is telling me about how, the sun, as it illuminates and it interacts with the trees, the trees create carbon, which is how we're able to breathe, right? And we then thus create oxygen that the trees are able to use as well to breathe in. And as we're sitting in front of this fire, he's telling me about how the carbon that is created by the trees, supported by the fire, the ball of the sun. When we take wood and logs of tree and stack them together perfectly to allow the air to move through them and make a fire, that same carbon that was created when the sun touched the trees is sparked within the fire. And so the sun, father sun, grandfather sun, meets with us when the sun goes back to the mother. So in essence, the sun, the fire, the warmth never leaves us. And the father, right, grandfather sun, is reborn in the fire, as the fire. And so the sun that's up there then becomes the sun that sits in front of us in ancient times, not so much now, but perhaps ancient times will return again. Fire was for safety. It protected us at night against the elements, against predators. It kept us warm. It illuminated our path. The fire is there to teach us, to remind us, to make us wise by inviting us to just sit and be still and witness the fire. Listen and remember. Okay. Feel grounded enough to now to share the message. What a time to be alive, right? Yeah. I was thinking a few days ago about 2020 feels like a lifetime ago. But you see how the candle just started freaking out when I said 2020. I was thinking about 2020 and I was thinking about just how loaded that time period was for many of us. A lot of us who had been on the journey of peeling the blinders off, of awakening, of seeing the world as it really is, of seeing ourselves as we really are, of waking up from a dream. It was plain to see for so many of us what had been happening. And I know I was one of the people that were quite vocal about some of what I knew and what I was perceiving was unfolding during that period of time. I am an advocate, as I think we all should be, of freedom of choice as far as it comes to the autonomy of your body, the sanctity of your body. And my position was that it wasn't about sides or even beliefs or opinions on specific issues. My message was simply that each of us should have a choice over what we want for ourselves and what we want for our bodies. Because of that, I had a lot of backlash and a lot of people unfollowed me, and I understood. There were also tensions within families, within friendships, and maybe some of you can relate to what I'm sharing about. There was that camp of people. But very quickly during that period, so also depending on where you were in the world, it could have lasted a year, 2 years, maybe longer. But it was almost a perfect situation for people who slowly but persistently and consistently wake up and see that, hang on, I might have been on this side of the fence, but now I'm just removing all the fences and I'm seeing things more clearly. Humanity is waking up. And when you look today in May, the 1st of May, 2024, the world as it stands now is a completely different one to what 2020 was. And I don't think the person that I was then would have ever believed that we would be at a place where, even on a more commercial level, we are talking about some of the darkness that exists within so many industries in this world, where the plight of children is becoming more and more quote unquote mainstream, where we are seeing the distortions within the entertainment industries and how it's hypnotizing us, but more importantly and more urgently, how it is poisoning our future generation, our children, our teenagers. We are seeing how the West has influenced the entire globe in its ideologies, and how these ideologies, where it perhaps comes to race or it comes to sex and gender, these things are separating us, and it's almost a divisive, purposeful tool. We're waking up to the fact that, hey, this is my life. I am an individual who signed up to come into this world, and wait a minute. I can think for myself. I can decide for myself. Oh, wait, wait a minute, maybe everything around us needs to be re-examined. We are feeling a little soiled. I definitely know that I have been, from an over-sexualized culture, a overly materialistic culture. And more of us are seeking simplicity. We are seeking sincerity. We are seeking authenticity. We are wanting to come home. And that might be triggering for some, because home might be the sensing of wanting to no longer be here and go elsewhere. And as someone who has been that person many times and has struggled with wanting to go home, I'm realizing that sensing was of the fact that heaven on earth is our birthright, and it is part of the assignment that we signed up for. And we are now entering, or we've been in that season now, depending on where you are on the spectrum of awakening. There are those who ushered the way for us, and they're probably so burnt out and deserve to just be taken care of now, because they've worked at anchoring the light of dissolving the density. And the density that we still are dealing with now is nothing compared to 2020 to 2016 to 2012, when a lot of these shifts began to happen. This period we're entering into is what I feel is an integration phase of all of those components. Of course, there's much more in between that, and it's all personal based on an individual's experience. But waking up is such a long process, and most of the time, or a lot of the time, people confuse the awakening for the arrival. Now we're realizing that we're having to integrate our own awakening to who we are, the falsities of who we are, the realities of where we are within our lives, whether we like them or not. And we're trying to accept what those things might be. We're integrating what we have woken up to with regards to the family systems in which we were nurtured in which we were raised in. We're starting to understand how we became who we are because of the wiring within our familiar system, because of the wiring within our cellular memory, within our genetic coding, within our blood. We're waking up to that same thing, but on a global scale, and realizing what humanity has been up against for the last 2,000 years, and the deep distortions and lies that have held us captive and almost caged our souls and kept our spirits from being able to enter within our souls and into our bodies and animating our bodies, giving us the audacity, the remembrance that we are here to be divinely human, to be ourselves, to be beautiful, to shine, and that it is enough that we exist. The divinity of who we are is already so big, and this is what we're having to integrate and to accept and to understand and to uncode and to try on and to put on. We are in an integration phase. We're starting to integrate our memories, some of our earlier memories when we were younger, when we were children, the memories that show us the more real parts of who we really are. You know, the fundamental nature of ourselves. Some of us are having past life memories, and we're realizing that it's not about being that person there, whether it was a deity, it was, that doesn't matter. It's not about trying to embody that thing or that power. Whether you were powerful then, it doesn't mean that you're not powerful now. We're integrating all of those components because they live within us, right? They are us. So we're integrating all of these things that we're remembering and making room to embody what we're sensing and remembering is who we really are. And this embodiment, it doesn't have to be premature. We're allowing the remembering to shape us, or the remembering to take away the things that are false so that we can, emerge as our real and true selves. It's okay to be seen. It's okay to be strange. It's okay to be weird. And this is mostly what we might think other people might think of us. And I understand it's a real fear and it can cause so much anxiety. I struggled with it for so many years. I was captured and I still struggle with it. I'm still struggling with it. But the beauty of the space actually and the gift that you're giving me, the gift that I'm giving myself, the gift that this space is conjuring is that we're able to sense for ourselves and show up as ourselves. And I know that for me, it's almost like the space is an initiation because it's like, so what's up? What are you gonna do? What are we gonna do? Are we gonna be ourselves? What? And then initially I had these ideas and thoughts. This is how it's going to work. This is what's going to happen, and this is what this YouTube channel is going to be about. And the garden was like, no, Sissy, Askis, no. Actually, we have our own plans, and you need to be authentic, and there's no other way. And I'm learning to come out more and more. And the thing is that I also understand that there might be judgments along the way. I might be laughed at. That's okay. That's that person's perspective and point of view. I'm having my point of view, and I'm only trying to have fun and to be authentic and to create memories and to enjoy my life, because for a long time I wasn't able to, because I was captured by my traumas, my anxieties, my ancestral patterns, so many of those things. I've been working at dissolving all of those things. And I know a lot of us have, and I think we deserve to rest within ourselves, to be ourselves. We're learning to embody what has emerged over the last couple of years. We are embodying and integrating what is true. And in order for those things to happen, we are grieving everything that we've held on to in order to survive. That's where the fire supports us. We are weeping where we need to weep. We are breaking down where we need to break down. We are comatose in a fetal position in our beds when we can, if that's what is needed. And we're allowing the body to let go in the ways that it needs to, so that the new can come in. We become sick and we experience dis-ease and anxiety and so many of these things when we aren't true to what the moment wants to be. When we want to be where we're not, when we want to be who we are not, and when we can't accept what our life is in the moment. Hey, it's okay. It's okay to be confused. It's okay to be broke and still figuring it out. It's okay to move back home if you have to start again and afresh. It's okay to say, I don't know. It's okay to say, I can't think right now. It's okay to say, yeah, I feel good. I know what direction I'm headed towards, even though maybe other people around you don't. You don't have to go fall into their experience because you feel bad that they aren't where you are. Where we are is okay, as long, hopefully, as we're not, and I'm speaking to myself here, that I'm not denying where I am and lying about where I am to myself. The old becomes new, We're burning away the old so that the rebirthing of ourselves can emerge. And we're making way for the new, but the new merges with the ancient. Because regardless of whether you remember your past lives or not, and all the stories that you've had, or all the parallel lives that you might be living, the ancient aspect of you is the aspect that first sparked into this reality, right? So when your soul emerged, there's an essence of who you are that is unchanged by anything. Is unchanged by the identity you embody in each incarnation, if that's what you believe in. And this is what we are integrating so that we can embody. So we're grieving so that we can integrate, so that we can embody, and so that we can reunite with the ancient aspect of ourselves. Because we are a new and ancient people. So I hope that you are covered this month and beyond as this shifting of the ages occurs. Once in a lifetime experience. We are in history, writing it day by day. So I want you to understand how big this moment is. You are badass for showing up at this time. You know exactly how to navigate this time. Don't play yourself small. When you cover yourself sincerely in all the places and parts that you wished others would have covered you at in the past, may you have the courage to grieve. We need to grieve because, our tears spell out what our words often fail to express. May you grieve. May you let your tears renew you. May you remember. May you choose love, because it's the ultimate protection, and it eliminates all fear. And may you integrate and be soft and gentle. Take your time with your integration. Allow yourself to see yourself. Don't worry about what other people think. Take care of yourself. Take care not to extend yourself where you can't. This hurts us. I'm speaking as someone who's done this so much in my life. Pull back into yourself until you have the strength to stand again, and to stand and embody yourself. Smile, because you're alive. As hard as it may be, sometimes you're alive, and we're so thankful that you came here, that you were born. Breathe. Sit under the sun. Sit in front of the fire. Hum to yourself, sing songs over your own self, and know that you are loved and supported by infinite intelligence and energies that love you whether you love yourself or not. Yeah. Have a good month. Welcome home. Welcome home.
Number one, number two.